Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing a collab story time with the YouTubers The Sea Blondes, or Sea Blondes, and we'll link them down below in the description and their video.
And they're also going to be doing videos similar to us. So they're doing about 4 or 5 stories that are short and just kind of weird, funny things that happen when we're in college.
Yep, so after this video, go check theirs out, subscribe to their channel, and yep, let's get right into it.
Yep.
So our first story is a story about when we got lost in the bus system in Boulder. So basically there's this area in Boulder called Pearl Street, and it's just like maybe a mile or two, something like that, away from our campus. So we had to take the bus. So we got on the right bus. It wasn't that hard to get there. We got off the bus, we walked like a block, and we went to this restaurant and we did our extra credit, and that was that. And then we left and we figured, let's just get back on the bus. So we went to, I think, the bus stop that we got on.
Yeah, that was right outside of where we went in.
But it didn't really work out.
So we ended up sitting there for half an hour and like looking at each other like something's wrong.
Yeah,
like
like
the bus
where
isn't
is
running.
it?
Where is it? We've been sitting here forever. We're trying to track it on our phones and download apps and figure out how to get back home.
Like, we just didn't understand why it wasn't showing up.
Yeah, so we're like, okay, well maybe we're at the wrong bus stop, so let's walk to the one that we can see like a couple blocks away and just see if the bus shows up there. So we walk over there, and a girl who was also in our extra credit came out with us and was like, oh, like, I'll come with you, like, I'm also going back to campus. So we're like, okay, cool, like, we'll try to figure this out together. So we get there and we sit and we wait for the bus, and it's another 15 minutes, no bus shows up. And so we're like, okay,
Like,
where's the bus? It's
Why
like
can't we figure out where the
Monday
bus is?
evening. There should definitely be a bus running back to campus.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well maybe it's that bus stop, like another couple blocks down. So we start walking away and we're pretty much all the way there, and we look back and our bus comes to the bus stop that we just left from. So
And
we start sprinting
running
back.
And we're like, the other girl doesn't even care, and she just waits there. So we run to the bus stop that the bus just arrived at, and it pulls away and it goes to the bus stop that we were just at and picks up the girl and leaves. And then we just started thinking about that SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob goes to that weird, like, under the sea or
Abyss
like
kind of
abyss
thing
place,
under- yeah.
and they all speak like, hello, what's up? And we couldn't stop doing that. And
So we started talking like, where?
the bus. It was so funny. But
So
like,
at this point we're like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna stick at this bus stop. We're not leaving. We're not even gonna walk away. We're not gonna take our eyes off of where the bus is coming, and we're gonna sit here.
exactly.
So we do that for another 20 minutes and no bus comes.
We were at this point debating ordering like an Uber or a taxi. We were
and
like,
going
let's
all the way
just
back
get
to
one.
campus. Like, I'm so sick of waiting for this stupid bus. So we're like, okay, like, one more try. I've seen a couple buses come to that other stop. Like, maybe we can go and see if one of them is driving closer to campus, and then we can walk from there. So we go to the other bus stop and we're waiting. And we see the bus pull up again at the stop we were waiting.
Like, we're
So
just
this time we're
missing
like,
it.
hell no, hell no. And we run. It's like even faster this time, and we make it, and we get on the bus. We didn't even check what bus it was. We just saw one pull up
And
at
we
the
just
stop.
were like, this is it. We're
So like,
just
this is it. Like, get on
take
the
us
bus.
somewhere. Like, let's just go.
So we get on the bus and it starts driving, and Emily and I are in the front 2 seats. We're like talking to the bus driver, just like, hey, not really, but so we're like, oh, like, by the way, is this going back to campus? And he looks and he goes, no, like, we're going to Broomfield.
Like, that's like a town over. That's like,
We're like,
20 minutes away.
Will you stop, like, up here somewhere close
Just
to
pulls
a bus
over,
stop?
and we just get off, and all of these people are just like, what the hell?
And now we're even further away from where we started. There's no bus stops around. So we have to walk back to from where we came from.
so bad.
Anyway, point of the story, we eventually got on the bus, figured it out, went home. We felt so stupid by the time we made it back to
We're
our
just
dorm.
not good at doing the bus. Like, we've never taken, we didn't even have a school bus where we go
like,
to school.
There's
so.
no, you don't ride a bus around where we live usually, so.
And it happened to us multiple times throughout the year. Like, one time we tried to go to Target and the same thing
It
happened.
took us 3 hours to get like 2
To and
miles
from
down the road.
Target. Anyway, so that was our bus story, and it was kind of ridiculous and annoying, but it was so funny. And the SpongeBob thing, like, I will never forget that.
Like, us just constantly being like, let's go.
It leaves the second we look away. So anyway, that was our Pearl Street bus story, as we call it.
Okay, and then the next one is, okay, Rando House.
Okay, so in one of our videos, if you watched it, or how to stay safe in at college parties, we talked about always having your phone charged. And this is a story
This is
that
exactly why you should have your phone charged at all times.
Exactly.
So basically we were leaving a little get-together party type of thing because one of our friends texted us and was like, hey, like if you're bored, come and hang out with us. Like we just have a couple people over.
And it was a different house.
Yeah, and he dropped us his location. We looked at it and we're like, oh, that's like a mile away. We can walk.
Not even a mile, like 2 blocks. Yeah. It was like around the corner.
So we're like, okay, like let's just walk. We'll go find it. So I had the address in my mind or whatever, and I knew where we were going kind of.
Like we knew the street, where the street was.
So we knew around where it was, but Emily's phone ended up dying, and so we were just relying on my phone, and that was fine and everything, and it was taking us to it, but my phone died, like...
So then we didn't remember the address. We were just looking for what we thought was the house. Like we thought we would recognize it because I think we had been there once.
Yeah.
So we were just
We knew that it had a moat in front of it.
Yeah, that's all we knew.
And we were just trying to find a moat.
And we knew the street except for we couldn't find the street. And we were also in heels, I'm pretty sure, and dresses. And it was starting to get really cold. Like it was starting to get into the winter. So we were freezing.
It was November.
I didn't have shoes on because my shoes hurt and we had no phones. So we were like, what do we do? Like, and we were on the other side of the hill, which is like where you go out and where houses are at our school.
But it was like further back in the neighborhood, so there were no people walking around.
Exactly.
Like,
and
it wasn't
was
like
too
we could
far,
be like, hey, like where do you know around where this house is?
And it was too far to walk to our dorm. Like any other time, if we were in flat shoes and it wasn't freezing, we would have just walked the 25 minutes there. But it was just too far and we didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and also we didn't know really where we were. Like we were way up in the hill
just like, where are we?
So eventually we're just walking around, cannot find anywhere to go.
No phones. We can't even order an Uber.
No. So we're like, you know what? Like we see a guy walking and we're like, just like, hey, like, what's up? And he's like, oh, hey, like, are you going to this house? And we're like, I don't know, like, maybe that is where we're going. And so he's like, okay, like, follow me. And we're like, okay.
And like, but he seemed like really, I mean, I guess you can't judge everyone, like you never know, but he seemed very normal.
Like he went to Boulder and
he was a student at our school.
He was like a freshman in college like us, and he didn't seem like he had any weird agenda. So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll follow behind you. And so he just starts walking, we walk with him, and we're walking further and further up into the hill. We're like, I don't know if this is right.
The right direction.
I think that we kind of should have gone back that way.
So then he like goes into the house, right?
Yeah, so he leaves and he goes into a house and he's like, you can come if you want. And we're like,
but he just is like a little bit ahead of us. I'm pretty sure we knocked on the door of that house though, don't you remember?
So we're like, okay, well let's just at least try to knock on the door and
But he like went like a few steps in front of us and he like went in and closed the door. So we were like, okay. So we went and knocked on all the doors of the house and no one would open them and we were just like, what the hell?
Yeah, like, and then at that point we're like, okay, maybe that's not a good idea. Like, let's just like walk back down.
Exactly.
So then we see a bunch of people outside of house and they have a huge Boulder flag on their garage. So we're like, that seems safe. Let's like ask somebody outside of the house like where we are, where to go, if we can borrow a phone or use a phone charger.
And it was like a bunch of students. Like I might have even recognized somebody there.
Yeah.
Like it was obvious that it was a Boulder student, not some rando.
Yeah. And it wasn't even a get together. Like there was a good amount of people there. So we're like, okay, this seems good. So we're talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, like come in, like this is my house. You can borrow my phone charger. And we're kind of like look at each other and we're like, all right.
But we saw like a bunch of girls in there. I was like, look, there's like a billion girls in that kitchen. Because if it was all like a bunch of guys or something, we would have not gone.
Yeah. But we figured like there's a bunch of girls in there. They have Boulder flags. Like they had Greek letters on their house that were girl.
And we honestly, we honestly had no choice. So like,
we're like, all right, let's go.
We had no other option.
So he takes us into this bedroom and it's a girl's room and it's like, she has like her letters everywhere. So we're like, okay. Nice. So we're like just sitting on this random girl's bed with her phone charger, like trying to plug it in and like, okay, like let's get out of here. So we eventually charge our phones, call an Uber, go home, call it a night, and
it was just weird though. Like you need to have your phone charged. We had to go into a rando's house and just use it. We literally were just like, hey, phone charger, bye. Like that's all we did. We just came in and left.
Yeah, and don't do that usually because that sounds
not a good
so
idea.
Awful.
Yeah, it sounds bad. Like
we felt out the situation and we knew what was going on and we felt comfortable enough to do that. So
yeah, but we like to talk about that story. Like we went into a random person's house, which we did. So charge your phone before you go out so you don't get lost and stranded on 25 minutes away from your dorm
in the cold
with heels.
Yeah. So these next couple of stories, there's only about like 3 little short ones left, but we have a little bit of footage, so we'll try to insert that where it would seem appropriate, and so you can have an idea of what was going on.
So this story is really, it's not much of a story, but it's just what happened on St. Patrick's Day. So St. Patty's Day at CU Boulder is considered like legendary holiday.
It's like Christmas, but for partying.
Exactly. Like everyone past years goes in the street, like like 2 years ago or a few years ago, there was like so many people in the street that the police just put like tape around everyone and left because like there's nothing they could do. Like everyone has a great time, everyone gets dressed up. But this year when it was St. Patty's Day, it was freezing cold and snowing.
Raining. It was snowing? It was snowing.
Sleeting. And it was just so miserable, and we were in shorts, and all the like little get-togethers and parties we went to were just horrible, and no one was in a good mood.
Well, we had to like, we didn't want to go out quite yet, so we were like, oh, like let's just wait a little bit, see if it stops raining. So we didn't go out till like 2 or 3 when the party started at like 11. So pretty much everything was broken up at that point, and there were police people strolling the streets,
breaking
like,
down anything that they could, because it was like
any even small get together was being broken up. Like what's it called? Broken down, broken up. It was being broken up,
and which is really strange for Boulder because like the police don't usually like take lots of things like away, I guess. So we were like, okay, this sucks. Like I'm hungry. Like let's go to the gas station. So we walked to the 7-Eleven that's on the hill, and we got like a slushie. I don't know why, because it was cold. A hot dog
and a stick of cheese.
And yeah, a stick of cheese. And I had this little like necklace cup holder, so I put my Slurpee in there, and Rachel was like drinking off of it while I was on my neck, and we were just sitting there eating hot dogs like F this.
Yeah,
like
sitting on the street like I want to go home.
Like everyone's like still trying to party, and we're just sitting there eating a giant cheese stick and like a hot dog.
Like I am done. I am done for the day.
So done.
We were soaking wet at the end of the day. Like it was like another half an hour walk home because we didn't want to take a bus, obviously,
because that doesn't work out for us. So that was just like a really flop of a day.
That was a flop. That's one example of something where I would have rather stayed in bed. And we got home and we just like laid in bed for the rest of the night. We're like, I'm not going out again. That was stupid.
Yeah.
So that was one story. Like, hey, what up?
Give me some.
Some weird things that we do in our dorm, another couple short things. Arguing. So I mean, we're not perfect. We would fight with each other. It's inevitable. We've been friends for 10 years. So we had our little disagreements, our times where we got mad at each other. It's inevitable. So a couple of times where we would get the most angry or just annoyed with each other was, we would, our beds at the beginning of the year at least were like this. So like mine was against this wall and hers was against this wall, and then there was like walking space in between. So we would throw things back and forth. Like if we needed something, we were too lazy to get up, so we would just throw it. So one time, Rachel had my phone. Like, I don't know why. I think I had thrown it to her and she was looking at something on it. And I said, throw me my phone back. So she threw it and it didn't make it to my bed. It like made it on the floor. And her view of it was, it's your phone, you can get it if you want it. And my view was, you were supposed to give it back and you got it on the floor. And I was just having a rough day and I literally threw a temper tantrum. Rachel filmed me and I didn't even know she was filming me, and it's so funny. So we'll insert that here. But that was
like,
a good one.
Rachel! Get it!
No!
Dude! You stop! Stop!
what happened all the time, like just little things,
like stupid bickering that we would get over within 5 minutes, but it was still funny, and I
sometimes,
recorded it sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're in your dorm with your like best friend, you just need to be a baby sometimes.
Yeah,
you just
like,
throw a little tantrum.
Give it back!
So,
and then final little bonus kind of story, contemplation. Sounds weird. Weird medical problems we had during the
it's hard to stay like healthy and normal when you don't have your mom to take care of you.
Yeah, you think that like you're gonna go to college, you're not gonna get sick and be good. No, I don't know. Weird things happen all the time. So the first one that happened to me was I was walking out of class with Emily and our friend Hallie, and it was super windy that day. Like
I felt like I was being blown
away, like hard to walk, like eyes pouring, kind of windy. And the guy in front of me, don't pay any attention to him, but he's wearing a hat. I don't know if you can tell where this is going, but
like a baseball hat.
Like a baseball, like flat brim, flat bill, whatever it's called, hat. And a little gust of wind, not a little, a huge gust of wind, takes his hat, knocks it off of his head, and it literally blows so hard and it hits me in the face so hard it split my lip in half.
And I like
gushing blood.
And I always do this thing, like, I don't know why, I feel like this is like something that moms kind of do, where the kid or whatever will be like, I'm hurt, and the mom's like, oh, you're fine. And Rachel was like, oh my god, and I was like, oh my, you're fine, like, shut up. And
yeah, and I like took my hand away from, I'm like gushing blood everywhere, and the guy came up to me to get his hat, and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like,
Rachel was not nice. She was like, it's fine. And Hallie and I were just like, it's okay.
I was so mad. I was having a rough day already, and I get slapped with a hat. Like, who does that happen
And
to?
Rachel was like kind of tearing up, and when we were on our way to a class that was in our dorm, like the class was in the same building as our room, and it was us and our friend Hallie all going together. So me and Hallie just went to class, and Rachel was like, I need to go upstairs. And I go, you can cut this out if you don't like it. I come back in, and Rachel's like naked on a chair on the phone with her mom, and she's just like, yeah, I got hit in the face with a hat,
sobbing.
And I'm just like, you good, boo? Anyway, so we have a picture of her split lip.
Yeah, it's really bad, but
so something kind of weird that happened to me, medical, actually two really quick things, is first of all, I got my cartilage pierced right before school. So I have had it once before when I was like 16, and it just didn't work out. I got infected, blah, blah, blah. I took it out. So then I got it redone before I went to college, and it was over the scar tissue, so it wasn't really healing well, and it was always in pain. So when you get your cartilage pierced, it's an earring, and it's like a rod, and there's a ball on the front and there's a ball on the back. So one day I noticed that there was no ball on the front, so I was like, oh, the ball fell off. So I couldn't find it, and I was like, okay. So I tried to pull the earring out like backwards, so the part with no ball would just go through like any other earring, but there was a ball in the back. So I tried to pull it out backwards, and it wouldn't come out. And I was like, okay, it must be really swollen there, it's stuck. So like months passed. Like months, and it's stuck in my ear. And one day I'm just twirling it around in my math class, and it comes out, and I look down and the front ball is still on the earring, and the whole thing went through my cartilage. Like the whole entire front ball of the earring went through my ear.
All the way through. Just imagine an earring
just like, what
disappearing into the back of your ear. It was like coming out months later.
And because I expected to pull it out, and like, yeah, the ball's not there, it was just stuck because it's swelling. No, the whole thing went through my ear. I was like, what the hell? And that was,
our camera died.
and so the other thing that happened to me was I got pink eye, and everyone had a ball with that because, you know, people say you get pink eye from like
people farting on your pillow.
Farting on your pillow, but I have contacts and they just got like dirty, I don't know. So I got pink eye. And I woke, one night I went to bed, and we were actually out, and we were hanging out with some friends just in a dorm across campus, and I was like, my eye is really hurting, it's itchy, it's watery, and it was getting so red, and they didn't want to go, her and our other friend, and I was like, okay, we need to go. So we go home, I take out my contacts, and I'm going to bed, and I'm like, Rachel, my eye feels like kind of like it's getting puffy, and she's like, just go to sleep. So I wake up the next morning, and Rachel's still asleep, and I just start bawling, and I go, Rachel! And she looks at me, and I look at her, and my eye is like swollen.
It's like she got punched in the face.
Like my eyelid can't even open it. Yeah, I can't open it at all. And I have a couple pictures which don't even do it justice, but it was horrible. So Rachel took me to the doctor, and I got some medicine for it, and I also got pink eye a second time. And Rachel comes home from her being in class to see me laying with my head in the closet because it was the darkest place, and the light was hurting my eyes, and it was just, oh, not a good time. Don't get pink eye. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and please, please, please don't forget to go check out the C Blondes version of this video. It's super funny. It's really similar to ours, you know, just funny college experiences. So we'll link their channel and their video down below, and go watch it, go give it a thumbs up, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to them because they're awesome and they're really a lot like us, so
yeah. So if you enjoyed this, make sure that you go and check out that for something similar. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.
Leave a comment down below.
Make sure that you
subscribe to our channel. Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And share with all of your friends and family.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Secrets you tell me, I'll take to my grave. There's bones in my closet, but you hang stuff anyway. And if you have nightmares, we'll dance on the bed. I know that you love me, love me.